What's going on, everybody? Chump Change XD here. Hope you're all staying healthy, having a great day. As you can see, this is my crypto mining grow tent, and we're going to be changing things up slightly with the intake and exhaust. If you guys are interested in that, let's do it. Alright, so you guys may have noticed that I wasn't around last week. That's because Corona decided to hit my house. So now I'm going to be back in at it full swing. And I actually did a few changes to this crypto mining grow tent while I was down not videoing stuff. So you guys know I set this up with a cold hot aisle. That was the entire plan of this grow tent, and that's still going to be the plan. But I was limited by the placement of the exhaust fans being able to go out. So if we look right here, sorry if it's a little noisy in here, but this fan is going into my house, giving me free heat for the winter, which is nice. And I had a second exhaust fan right here. This obviously I removed, but I added it in a different spot. I ended up cutting into the grow tent here and here, which end up putting two exhausts directly at the front where the hot side of the hot aisle is. Then I'm going to be putting another one dead center right here. I ran these two pipes straight across and out this basement window. I have the two fans right there, as you can see. Those are both 8-inch fans. I did it all in smooth pipe. The only thing I have left to do is actually add an offset 90 like that right here, because if you look from the side, it's just kicking way down and it's really annoying. So I was trying not to run out of fittings before I did the rest of this actual transition. So now what we need to do, now that I'm gonna have 3 full exhausts right out the window, plan is to take 3 sections of pipe. We're gonna be throwing one back here, one down here, and one up top, facing each rig. So these fans that are on the back, the white ones from GPU risers, those are gonna suck the cold air coming from the intakes straight through the rig and be exhausted right out the front of the tent. At least that's the plan. So if we look right here, this is a 5-foot section of ductwork, and I've cut 3 circles, and I just noticed that one's way off to the left. These circles right here are going to be laying directly behind the actual rigs, and it's going to be pumping, like I said, right at the fans. I purchased these. They are 8-inch like half-round collars to just screw onto the face and be able to direct to the wind, but these are actually too big. I really wish I bought 4-inch ones, so I might end up doing an upgrade to this at a later date. I think I'm just gonna leave the holes cut in the actual ductwork for now to see how that works. But before I can do anything, I have to shut down every one of these rigs. I gotta remove all of them so I can slide the rack forward and I can actually build the correct manifold in the front. So where this ductwork goes in now, I'm not really a fan of it. I'm gonna be cutting it in to the back. I actually used a hot glue gun to actually adhere the metal to the material, this felt material, and it worked fairly well. This guy right here, just a Ryobi glue gun, battery powered, absolutely love it. So that worked fantastic. All right, so let me just speed through shutting everything down. I gotta go into Hive and just stop all the miners, get all these shut down, pull them out. I'm just gonna lay them right here on the floor, just for now, so I can get in there physically, cut the new holes, and get everything set up. All right, everything's gone. Honestly, those are so tight in this rack. It's so hard to get them all out, but they're all here, obviously. Now I need to slide this whole rack forward. I need to disassemble this entire like plenum, the intake that I had prior. Like I said, that's the T there and there, but this is only one 8-inch feed. So again, that's just not enough to have 2 8-inch feeds coming off of it. As you can see right here where the intake window is, I can actually fit 4 of those 14 by 6 by 8-inch round fittings. So I'm gonna have 4 intakes coming this way. 3 of them are gonna be utilized into the backside. Let me do some cable managing. Let me rip all this apart, and then we'll get into the good stuff. Look at all these mining rigs not working. All right, so here we have it. Empty rack, and I actually already went ahead and did all the tin work. This was way too difficult to like be in there and record. I'm not going to put any louvers on that. Like I said, I'm just going to leave those circles exactly like they are. I ended up putting a 90 on the top side over here. I have a T connecting this side and a T and a cap on the bottom down there. I needed something to support the right side of all of these without securing them to the rack, so it's just freestanding on that T and the cap on the right side. As you can see, I cut holes through the side of the actual Growtent itself, and here are the 3 intakes coming up at an angle. As you can see, that is because the only way for them to cross over each other with getting the maximum head height, I needed to do this. As you can see, I still need to do some sort of hot glue or something around the edges. I mean, honestly, this one's pretty tight. This one has a little bit of a gap. It's not a huge deal. All 3 of these are just going directly out that basement window right there. Either way, I want to get this thing back up and running because, to be honest, it's heating my house, so I need to get a couple rigs in here. I want to get them fired up, and I need to situate the PDUs. Those are a big deal, so I need to make sure I don't overload any of the banks. So let me grab a couple of these rigs. I want to get those ones that were on the top shelf back up on the top shelf, and hopefully having 3 intakes and these 2 exhausts going out the window, and hopefully it works a little better. So let's do it. So I'm not gonna lie, that was absolutely miserable to put these rigs up here with these here. So obviously I didn't have the cones on. That actually just makes a greater suction. But I spun this all the way up, and still, even having it all the way up, I had to like push these things into the top of the tent. But yeah, so that was pretty terrible. These are all up and running perfectly fine. Now I need to get a couple more in here. Great thing about these GPU risers fans, they just literally illuminate the entire tent. So I do have a few rigs that actually don't have the fans, or they're missing a few. So like this rig right here only has 4. I need to add 4 more. This rig has absolutely none, and this rig has absolutely none. So I do have more. I just got them in. I'm actually gonna put this white rig in, my A2000 rig. We're gonna get those on the middle shelf, and then I'm gonna add the fans to these 3. Man, this thing's starting to look good, and it's super cool inside there. All right, these 3 rigs now need fans. Huge shout out GPUrisers.com. If you guys would like, there is a discount code in the description below. It is Misfit Mining. I reached out to Vistang earlier this week and told him I needed some more fans. So thank you to him for sending those over. I gotta put 4 on this one, 8 on that rig, and then 8 on this rig. As you guys can see, there's none there. And I only had enough to do the top 4 here. So let me throw all these fans on, and then we'll get these rigs in place. 1, 2, and 3. And that's the mess left behind from all the fans. All right, real quick, before we get this thing in the tent, I swapped out this RX 570. This is a 4 GB card, and I'm actually going to be stripping this thing completely down, and I'm gonna do a mineral oil build with this GPU because I wanna see if I can build a manifold inside mineral oil and make this card run less hot, I guess. And then if this works out pretty well, I'll do it with something else. So let me throw this 3060 in place of that 570, and we'll get this rig in there with the rest of them. And there it is, all built up. So we have that final rig's over there. I gotta put a screen on it. I don't have one yet. Well, I do have it, I just haven't built it to put it on yet. So I'm gonna shut this tent now. I wanna see what the temperatures rise to, because obviously I have it wide open. It's 77 there, and you can barely see it, but it's 82 back there, which doesn't make much sense. But obviously, again, the tent's open. Oh, and actually I did turn down one of those fans. So I'm gonna shut this door, and we're gonna give it the test and see how hot she gets. All right, so it's been an entire 24 hours. Let's open the tent and check it out. Okay, so we have 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius, or 24. Then we have 66 degrees Fahrenheit and 19 degrees Celsius. So overall, it's been a little colder than it has been the past couple days, but this is working fantastically. So I have the fan going into my house on high, and these 2 exhaust fans I have on low, just for the time being, and it's actually working phenomenally. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is gonna solve my issues? To be honest, I think it's great. Like, I can literally feel the cold air coming directly from these fans that are on the back of the rigs, and that is the entire point of this. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Hopefully you appreciated the content. If you did, please don't forget, go down here, hit this like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you haven't seen this video or this video, go check them out. You guys might learn something else. I appreciate you all for watching. Please stay safe. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.